Feed the birds. Tuppence a bag. Tuppence.
Is it tuppence or tuppence?
I have no idea.
Okay. For all of our UK friends, please forgive us.
Well, I mean, they did also have Dick Van Dyke giving an English accent, which apparently I did not know.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently is largely seen as one of the greatest,
Yeah.
not great UK.
It was
British
great
accents.
to us.
Yeah,
It played well on the American side of things.
Of course he's British. What do I know?
All of us Americans thought it was amazing, Andy.
Yeah. Oh, this is great. Oscar for him.
Welcome to Table Talk, the show about beer, board games, and everything else. I'm Rich.
And I'm Alex. And today we are continuing our conversation about beaches.
Beaches with waves and sand. And of course, seagulls.
Don't forget about those bagels, though. I mean, they're cousins of the seagulls, so, you know.
You say the bagels?
Yeah, the bagels. You know, the ones next to the seagulls. They're
Bagels are related to seagulls?
Well, it just depends on what kind of bagel you're talking about, you know.
We're talking about beaches, guys. Welcome to part three.
Part three.
Three,
my lord. Number 3.
Beach conversation. If you missed episodes 1 and 2, go back, check those out. There's a little thing up there that will take you there if you want to take a look at it. So Alex and I both had Kona Brewing for those 2 episodes. I had a lager. Alex had an IPA. Go check it out. We paired it with a great worker placement game called Sun, Sea, and Sand. And then after that, we did a little bit of beach conversation where Alex tried to convince me that beach going was something nice and pleasant, and I'm still not convinced. So we might still have a little bit of we might still have a little bit of pushback. I am going to try and hone it in. I know I say that at the top of the episode, and I'm not going to be able to throughout the rest of the episode, but I really do. I really do want to become a beach lover, if not for my own sake, for Andy's sake. But yeah, this episode, guys, we are going to be talking about beach life, and that is not us going to the beach. It is other things going to the beach. In fact, other things living on the beach, because believe it or not, we do not own that property outright. There are other things that we share that space with, and we want to talk about them. But before we do that, let's take a look and see what type of beers we got. Alex, I've been interested to see what you got. What are we pairing with the beach conversation?
Rich, I have one of my favorite. This is probably one of my favorite seasonal summer beers. I should say of all time, but obviously, you know, I have a lot more beers to try, but this is one of my favorites. I saw this at the grocery store the other day, and I was thinking, man, I'm coming back to this
place
one.
To get beer.
This is always. This is one of my personal favorites. So this is Hell or High Watermelon. This is a wheat beer by 21st Amendment Brewery, which is, and it is a specifically, you can see this on the can, seasonal release. Look at that. Statue of Liberty sitting down on the Golden Gate Bridge, hanging her thing. This is one of my favorite beer cans of all time. She has a piece of watermelon that she's holding in her hand. Mind you, the Statue of Liberty is not actually this big compared to the Golden Gate Bridge, but I don't really care.
Nor are they anywhere near each other.
Yeah, that's all right. And this is from 21st Amendment Brewery. This is in San Leandro, San Leandro, California. So this is the first Californian beer I think I've actually featured on the show. So very excited to break into this. One of my personal faves.
I've heard of 21st Amendment before. I've heard good things. So that's great. Got the watermelon theme going.
Oh yeah.
That's great. I like it a lot. And you said what type of it was a wheat?
It's a wheat beer.
Ale?
Yes. It's a wheat beer brewed with watermelons. I'm assuming the watermelons have been peeled and sliced, but maybe they just literally like throw the whole thing and they just
have you had it? Have you had this before? Is this going to be your first time?
No. I've had this before. I had this, I think several. I was introduced to this by a friend in New York City, I think, and summertime, and it was kind of one of those I think it was like near July 4th or something like that. So
Okay.
they recommended it. I got it and really liked it. It's flavorful, but not too watermelony.
Right.
Where it's
Yeah.
like it's not
Too
like
much watermelon is a bad thing. In
yeah,
beer.
it starts going
And
Jolly
a little-
Rancher if you do too
Right.
much of that watermelon
Yeah.
flavor. And Jolly
Yeah.
Ranchers are fine, but it's not beer. So
Right.
What did you bring?
I also switched beers, so we're off of our Kona kick, and we actually have 2 different beers this time.
Very good.
I went with a more traditional choice, a summer choice, definitely. Nothing too small scale. This is something that everybody probably knows and maybe loves, but I went with Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy.
Hey, good choice.
There you go.
That's a good call.
It's a Weiss beer, so it's got a nice kind of lemony flavor to it. It's called the summer shandy for a reason. It's great for kind of warm weather get-togethers. You can get it anywhere, pretty much, right? It's pretty much going to be available wherever you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Go out and get it, and it's great if you're doing a barbecue or you're just hanging out in the backyard. Grab one of these bad boys. It's not a bad drink to have. 4.2 alcohol, so it's not too invasive by any means. 6 generations of family brewing tradition, pride of Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. So
Nice.
a nice Wisconsin beer here.
It's good.
So there you go.
Nice.
And twist.
Hey.
I got a little bit of lemon over here, and you got a little bit of watermelon.
Watermelon.
So.
Great summer.
Yeah.
Good tidings
All right,
to you, sir.
Yes, and to you, Alex. Cheers.
Cheers.
I wanted to start out our beach conversation about beach life by doing a quick little game called Name That Beach Dwelling Mystery Creature. There's 5 questions, and it's a new game that I think we'll enjoy. Do you want to play?
Yes, I want to play.
It's multiple choice, and it's only 5 questions, but I think it's gonna be educational, and also those at home can play along with us as well. So without any further ado, this is going to be my microphone. And what I want you to do, because it is kind of like it's not really Price is Right themed, but the opening is Price is Right. I want you to kind of come down, and I'm going to announce you. So go off screen.
Oh,
really
yeah.
quick
Yeah,
and then
okay.
Come
all right.
in like
Right.
come in like
Yep.
I just announced that you're the next contestant. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending. Name That Beach Dwelling Mystery Creature. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Our next contestant on Name That Beach Dwelling Mystery Creature is Alex Barker. There you go. Good applause. Good applause.
What's
Good
the
applause.
Dodger run? Whatever that is.
Settle down, people. Settle down. Alex Barker. Alex Barker is a native of Raleigh, North Carolina. Alex, how long did it take you to get here today?
About as long as it took you to get here, because we did it on Zoom. Right. Is that how people?
Well, welcome to the internet. And welcome to Name That Beach Dwelling Mystery Creature. Yes. All right, Alex. Do you have your beer handy?
Yeah, I do. I'm a little nervous and all, but I've been studying up.
Nothing to be nervous about, Mr. Barker.
I saw the way that guy Greg got he got ousted. So I'm hoping I'll make it past the 3rd round. So we'll see.
Oh, you're gonna have it a lot harder than Greg, but you're still gonna be okay.
All right, I'll do what I can.
And so there's gonna be 5 questions, Mr. Barker. For every question you get wrong, there is somebody somewhere dangling over a shark tank, and they will gradually get lower and lower into the shark tank.
Hey!
3 strikes, and they will die. Let's begin. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. Name that beach-dwelling mystery creature. This beach-dwelling mystery creature enjoys a varied seafood diet of small prey such as herring, anchovies,
crabs, and squid, swallowing their meals whole and eating up to 40 pounds a day. Name that beach-dwelling sea creature. Is it a sea lion, a pelican, or a beach mouse?
Can I? Can I phone a friend?
What do you want? You want to phone a friend? Yes,
Yeah, can I
you
phone a
phone
friend? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, hold on.
Timmy, can we get some waiting music?
I want to
suspension?
see if my buddy actually
Suspension
picks up. Hold on.
Oh, you're actually calling somebody?
I'm actually
Okay.
calling somebody.
All right.
Oh. All right.
You at home can play along, and in case you missed it, name that beach-dwelling mystery creature. This beach-dwelling mystery creature enjoys a varied seafood diet of small prey such as herring, anchovies, crabs, and squid, swallowing their meals whole and eating up to 40 pounds a day. Is it a sea lion, a pelican, or a beach mouse? Soon find out.
Hey, Emma. Do you want to be on our podcast show?
What would I talk about?
We're playing a Name That Beach Sea Creature game.
Beach-dwelling mystery creature.
Yeah, beach.
Wait, right now?
Yeah, like literally right now we're recording. Do you wanna play?
I mean, I would, but we're actually standing on a beach. I mean, maybe that's a good thing.
No, it's perfect. I'm
perfect.
phoning. This is the phone the friend section, so I figured I'd give you a telephone. Now that you're on the beach, do you want to hear Rich's question?
Okay.
All right, hold on. Okay, go ahead, Rich.
All right, name that beach-dwelling mystery creature. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Hi, this is Emma.
Hi, Emma. The question is, name that beach-dwelling mystery creature. This beach-dwelling mystery creature enjoys a varied seafood diet of small prey such as herring, anchovies, crabs, and squid, swallowing their meals whole and eating up to 40 pounds a day. Is it a sea lion, pelican, or a beach mouse? Name that beach-dwelling sea creature.
I'm gonna go with pelican.
Pelican? You think it's pelican?
I don't know, do I?
Are we revealing right now?
We'll go with
reveal it?
pelican. Pelican, please.
Pelican is the wrong answer, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Emma. I'm sorry, Mr. Barker. Pelican is not correct. Thank you for trying, though, and thank you for playing. Enjoy the beach, Emma.
Thank you so much.
Wait, hold on. What's the right answer?
The right answer is sea lion. Although pelicans do eat a lot of food, they only eat about 4 pounds instead of 40 pounds.
I guess that would be a lot for a pelican.
That would be a lot of food for a pelican.
I should have thought about the 40-pound thing.
That's all right. I had no idea.
I was thinking of the air advantage of the pelican.
Yes. Yeah, a sensible argument. No, it's good.
A sensible guess, Emma, but still incorrect.
I failed you. I apologize.
That's all right. Well, we're going to carry on with the show, but thank you for picking up and for playing with me.
You are so welcome, and farewell from Cannon Beach, Oregon.
Thank you, Emma.
Thanks, Em. Bye.
Enjoy.
Yes. A pelican can swallow food whole, but it is not going to eat 40 pounds a day. Fun fact about the sea lion, sea lions often get mistaken for seals, and while both species belong to the pinniped order of marine mammals, the most noticeable difference is that seals can't walk on land. Instead, they bounce, which is known as galumphing. Sea lions, however, can walk, even run on all four flippers. They also have external ear flaps, which true seals do not.
Fascinating. Another thing that I've always argued that seals are, what seals are actually, like they're not seals.
Yeah.
They're dogs in
They're not
onesies. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
They're just zipped up in these onesie suits.
Yeah, right.
They
It's like
and then they'll come out and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" I mean,
Yeah, it's like a doggy wetsuit.
Exactly.
It's pretty much
Why do you think dogs
love
love
they got
swimming
the
so
whiskers.
much? Yeah, they're just missing their wetsuit. They need to get that onesie.
All right, 0 for 1, Alex.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now? Do you feel confident?
No,
You don't?
not at all.
Okay.
But
All right.
we'll see.
Well,
I'm gonna keep fighting.
We'll see. We still got 4 more questions for you. So let's go to question number 2. Name that beach-dwelling mystery creature. There are over 6,700 species of this little decapod who can lay up to 2,000 eggs in one sitting. Is it a mollusk, a starfish, or a crab? Name that beach-dwelling mystery creature.
I'm gonna go with a mollusk.
A mollusk is incorrect.
Oh!
It is not a mollusk. It is a crab.
There are 2,700 species of crab.
6,700 species.
6,700 species of crab. Wow.
6,700 species of crab. Did you know hermit crabs, king crabs, and horseshoe crabs are false crabs? They are not really crabs at all,
What?
even though they have crab in the name.
Is this like
False crabs come from the order of Anamura.
all right?
It sounds like something from like
Sounds like a tough order to make, especially at like a Quiznos.
yeah. Basically, false crabs have a smaller last set of legs, which makes them more relatable to basically like shrimp or lobster. So, so if you ever come across a hermit crab, you know it's a false crab.
Can I
Stay back, false crab. You're false.
false? He's a con.
Yeah, you are a false. You are a false crab. Get away from me. Stop spreading your lies, projecting yourself as a crab when you're not really a crab. Can't stand it. Oh, and did you know a group of crabs is called a cast? So, if you ever thought that you'd never see a crab in a cast, think again.
I would be wrong. I would
Yep.
also. So here's my question though: is if crabs are in movies, do you say the cast of the cast?
Yeah, crab. Yeah, that's what they have to do. They have to clarify every crab movie that's ever made. And here's the cast. And here's the cast of the cast.
Yeah, the cast of the cast. It's starting to sound like a Monty Python intro. What do you got next?
Well, first I want to check in on this poor soul that is dangling over a shark tank. I think he's getting a little nervous at this point. One more question wrong, Alex, and his fate is in your hands. Do you have anything to say about that?
Well, not much, other than I hope the shark is trained and has been well fed before.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't actually say what type of shark it is.
No. Could be a dogfish. If it's a dogfish shark, which there's 3. Talk about a confused animal. Dogfish shark. What is it? No, it's a dogfish shark. Sounds like somebody just picking 3 words from a dictionary and deciding, oh, okay, we'll have this be the thing.
It kind of looks like a dog, kind of looks like a fish, kind of looks like a shark.
Dogfish
It's a dogfish shark.
It's a dogfish shark. Say it fast enough. It's just like a big old muddle. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, moving on. Question number 3 on a name that beach-dwelling mystery creature. This crafty beach-dwelling mystery creature begins each of its meals by extending its stomach outside of its mouth and over the digestible parts of its prey. Is it a starfish, a hermit crab, or a false crab, or a barnacle?
I actually think I might know this. I think it's a starfish.
Ding, ding, ding! It is
Yes!
a starfish.
Wait,
It is. You got it right.
Stuck on repeat there. This is
internet
Richard.
flagging.
No, it's Rich's the vinyl edition. It got stuck on a scratch.
Here, do you want to do it? Starfish.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on.
Ish.
There we go. Very good. Yeah,
There
leave
we
it to,
go.
leave it to me to the one question I know is the most disgusting. Of the,
Yeah, how
most
did you know that?
I don't remember. I read it in some National Geographic or somebody as a kid and being like, "Ooh, that's cool and gross." So
Yeah, it is. It's completely gross.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like every time you have to eat something, excuse me.
it's just like you aim your mouth slowly over the plate, so it's just like
Stomach coming out of your mouth and just sitting on top of the food that you're trying to eat. Can you imagine just like a dining room full of that?
It's not much for dinner table conversation. No talking at the dinner, son. There's no talking at the dinner at this house. We're gonna let our stomachs eat in peace. Thank God we aren't starfish. You know, one thing though I heard that's a cool fact about starfish is that they're one of the prime candidates for a particular division within science in which they're trying to figure out how to tap into the fact that starfish can grow their legs back.
Yeah.
I know lizards can grow tails, so they're one of the things that are trying to figure out and doing for humans. Obviously, we all know of, at least those who have seen Marvel, is that there's one particular villain that tried to do the same, and it fortunately did not turn out well for him. But but apparently starfish are very much the same in there, and that's one of the big reasons why starfish are such a kind of on the map in science anyway. So
Then you have Dr. Ock too. There's a lot of animal theme going on with Spider-Man.
I have a
It's like
theory
you
though that
can't
I
and the
think
Green Goblin. Goblin's not really an animal.
no. It's a Tolkien thing
Depends on who you
basically.
talk to.
Yeah,
I'm sure Gimli and Legolas would have a different opinion, but
yeah, it's okay. It's
yeah.
all right. Yeah,
Right.
but
Um, So
Fun fact about starfish, which you've kind of already hit on. The correct name is actually sea star. Starfish is not the right word. But I'll call it a starfish if you call it a starfish. It's not technically a fish at all, so that's why. So sea star is the correct term. Most have 5 arms, but some species can grow up to 40 arms.
well, that's slightly
And
terrifying.
those, I believe, are more known as sun stars. Or sea suns? Sun sea stars.
They have a leg up on the competition there.
Sure, all those appendages come in handy.
Yes, yeah, they do.
All right, well, the gentleman hanging over the vat of sharks is wiping his forehead from sweat. Stay calm, sir. Sweating only makes it worse. Question number 4. Name that beach-dwelling mystery creature, also known as shags. These beach-dwelling mystery creatures have special feathers which allow them to swim well underwater. They can commonly be seen drying their wings in the hot sun. Is it a seagull, a cormorant, or a heron?
I believe the answer would be a cormorant.
Ding, ding, ding! You are right, and you actually probably pronounced it better than I did. Good job.
Thank you.
How do you say it again?
I think it's a cormorant. Is it
Cormorant.
A-N-T?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, A-N-T. Yep.
Yep.
Cormorants have short wings for a flying bird due to their need to swim. Because of this, they have the highest flight cost of any flying bird, which basically just means what? Like,
yeah, flight cost. I kind of looked into this. I think it's just like the amount of energy it takes for them to actually fly.
Got it. I was like,
So
what
it's
are they,
all about,
flying
like-
economy? Or
It's all about like the
less than?
size and shape of their wings as opposed to the size and shape of their body. So
Got
some
it.
birds, it's pretty effortless for them to fly. Others, it
Yeah.
costs a lot.
So
So,
it's
they
like
basically
So it's
have a
basically
harder
like
time
it,
flying, but they can swim.
it goes from like albatross to like penguin.
Well, yeah, this is of any flying bird though. So penguin, ostrich, they're not going to qualify.
They just don't qualify. Pity.
there you go. Alex, you've redeemed yourself. 2 for 4. We're 50-50 here. It is make or break time. How much do you want to wager for the final question?
The whole
Just changing
the whole
rules in the middle of
person.
the game.
The whole person.
The whole person.
Yeah, if it doesn't make it,
All right.
then sorry, buddy.
All right. And if you win, You get the satisfaction of knowing that you didn't kill somebody. It's going to be great. It's going to be okay.
This is such a insidious game. This is this game show took a really bad turn.
It's high stakes. Alex, we need the views. Come on. We got to get people to watch somehow. Putting somebody in mortal jeopardy.
Mortal jeopardy.
Is the only way to do that.
Way. Okay. All right.
All right. Next question and final question on name that beach dwelling mystery creature. This beach dwelling mystery creature only visits the shore periodically to either bask in the warm sun or nest, with a majority of its life spent migrating across the open ocean. Is it a shower curtain? Is it Leonard Nimoy's ghost? Or is it a sea turtle?
Hold on. Did I hear shower curtain as a possibility?
Yes.
Because I'm
Is
definitely
a shower curtain?
Mhm.
Leonard Nimoy's ghost? Or a sea turtle?
I'm gonna go with
Name that beach dwelling mystery creature.
See, this is when you do a commercial break right before I give the answer. I'm going to go with C, as in C for sea turtle, even though C is not how you pronounce or spell sea turtle. But I'm going to go with sea turtle.
You did it! Ding, 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 ding! And the man does not get dropped into... Wait, hold on. So unfortunately, there was an equipment issue, and apparently he did. He fell in anyway. Well, Alex... It doesn't matter because you were right, but just know that because of our faulty equipment doesn't mean that you should be morally deterred in any way. You did your best to save his life, and they were great white sharks, by the way. They were? Yeah, okay. Yep, we're getting word that they were. So didn't realize that was as serious as it was. But good job, Alex. Congratulations. It is a sea turtle.
Thanks, I guess. This is, I think I'd rather play Wheel of Fortune next time. Something with a little, I'm all for competition, but, putting a person's life in jeopardy and making sharks even more of a bad rap, it's not a...
Would it help you if I told you that he came out of the tank alive?
I mean, I guess.
Okay, let me check on that.
Uh-huh.
Yes, he did come out alive.
Okay,
Absolutely.
all right. Oh, all right.
Yes.
Good.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
good. I feel a lot better now. Feel a lot better.
So it is estimated with sea turtles. It's estimated that only 1 in 1,000 hatchlings will survive to adulthood. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy. Yeah, I've witnessed
It is
sea turtles hatching before. Have I told you that?
Have you really? No.
Yeah, it was super cool. About 3 years
Where
ago, Topsail. It's the beach I go to, which we've talked about in previous episodes.
Yep.
Topsail Beach. My dad and I were catching the sunrise in the morning on the east side because East Coast, obviously. But as we were, I think we were heading our way back. It's pretty early in the morning, maybe close to 7 a.m., probably a little before. And then all of a sudden, we see this little thing scurrying along, and usually it's ghost crabs at that time of day. But then all of a sudden, I realized,
Cast of them.
it's a little sea turtle, and he's booking it. I mean, for being 6 minutes old, I mean, they're just all right. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Talk about a harrowing experience of being all right. I'm in this warm, cuddly, cozy sand, nest with all my brothers and sisters, and then I hatch, and then I have to make it 50 to 100 yards across what is probably essentially
which might as well be a desert to most of us.
Well, and not only that, you're basically in trench warfare. Like as a sea turtle, that is the trenches, where it's no man's land, where you have to go, and that there's everything else that's in between that wants just to eat you. Like not even mess around. Just all right, I'm just gonna eat you. Like that's the deal.
Yeah.
So watching this little fella, book it across the shore, my dad and I, are essentially, we keep an eye out for seagulls as it's making its way. And then it was really fun to watch as other people who were up early to watch the sunrise also noticed us looking, and then they come, and then eventually there was, I think, about 10 to 15 people, and then one of the little sea turtle's siblings also came out, and then also was doing their thing. So that was
So how many did you see? Like, did you see like a swarm of them, or
no. They
just a couple?
they didn't all come out, and there's no term when they all. I think it's a swarm, but there's a word when they all like come out at once.
Okay.
But no, as far as I know, there were only 2 that came out that morning. I guess they were, early bird gets the worm kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really cool. They're really tiny.
That is cool. I've always wanted to see it before. Can you imagine though? 1 out of 1,000, right? It's like take everybody in your town. I mean, not everybody in your town. Probably just take a big group of people from your town, about 1,000 people, right? Let's line up on the beach, right? And like somebody comes out and says, "All right, one of you are going to make it across.
Good luck."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The rest of you are gonna die.
Yeah.
Well, those are some heavy stakes right there.
I get why in the animal kingdom, especially in the ocean, essentially it's a matter of minutes, if not seconds, when a young creature is born, that they have the innate skills to hopefully survive. I mean, if they can make it, unless you're like phytoplankton, kind of like crabs or larvae or whatever. But and humans take 18 years per se to become adults, right? However,
right,
it's also knowing that you're under the protective guidance, hopefully, of parents, siblings,
right,
guardians, somebody that keep you from just getting taken out early.
Right.
It's pretty wild, man.
Well, thanks for playing my game, Alex.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to keep from someone being food,
which you totally did. Absolutely. Yep. You saved his life.
I feel better about myself now. It's good.
Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you in that situation, but I totally did.
What a game show that'd be. Hey, am I going to get a chance to win $1 million? No. You get a chance to save someone from being eaten by sharks. Oh.
It's the satisfaction of knowing that you didn't screw up.
That's a really, really delightful way to incentivize somebody.
Yep. It's the type of show that we do on the we don't have any money to give away, Alex. I can't give you any money. I can give you the satisfaction of knowing that you didn't cause anything bad to happen, though. That I can do. That's our budget. That's what we can afford. But you did
Somebody
great.
tells me this podcast, or I should say, not the podcast, but the game show, I think is going to, be short-lived after its first season. But that's my that's my theory.
Yeah. No, they won't take us off the air. There's no air to take us off of. This is free range. This is like Wild West out here. As long as we don't literally throw somebody into a vat of sharks, we're good. Which we totally didn't do. So all of you that think that we did, it was a joke. Calm down.
Yep.
It's a joke. Nobody actually died. Got bit a little bit, a few bites, but he's fine. All right. Sorry. So I kind of took over the whole show there. Did you what other experiences do you have, Alex, with like any other like
game shows?
So game shows. I mean, we can talk about game shows. We can just walk away from the whole beach conversation all its own. Yeah. Have you seen anything else? Like, I mean, apart from like seagulls or anything like that, like, do you have any cool experiences?
I could give a few seashore beach life ones. Dolphins are usually, because of the nature of at least how the North Carolina kind of coastal area works, a lot of the tides are dictated by the barrier islands, which they essentially coexist near these marshlands that are in between the mainland and the islands. So it's essentially like these fish nurseries for these smaller fish that tend to hang around there, especially during low tide. Attracts a lot of dolphins for feeding, so it's pretty frequent each year that we'll see a little pod of dolphins just kind of hanging out. I remember a couple of years ago I saw a little baby dolphin. That was pretty cool.
Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen a baby dolphin.
Yeah, they're smaller.
How do you know it's a baby?
They're a lot smaller.
This is a smaller version of a dolphin.
Yeah, very small. The little dorsal
There's not
fin
like anything like on the side of it that says baby.
Well,
on it, or
usually the
infant?
mom or the dad has something on the back of their tail says "baby," nearby. That's the yellow
Oh, okay.
triangle thing, so you know to slow down.
Baby in pod.
Baby in pod. Yep, that's
It's
dolphin
like a little
parenting.
yellow warning
Yep,
sticker.
Yep, warning sticker. Yeah, they're very sweet that way. And then sand dollars are a frequent pleasure of mine to dig up. I remember as a kid, and you try to find the sand dollar. For those that haven't seen them, they're I don't know what they're related to. I think they're related to the starfish, but they're very flat and they look like a dollar piece, especially in the old days. But they're, from what I understand, they kind of eat through just what they filter out through the sand, and they really love burrowing in the sand and just kind of chilling there. But they're very flat, and they have these tiny little, almost like fibrous feet on the bottom.
Yeah, it's
just
like a lamb's ear.
Yeah,
Almost.
and they just are constantly doing this, and they're very slow, but they do move. And they're very small. They're about yay big. And they're completely harmless to humans, so you can dig them up. They won't sting you or anything like that. So that was fun growing up, especially near sandbars where the low tide would come, and then you could go out for about 6 hours and hang out in the sandbar, bring your beach chair, bring a frisbee, that kind of thing, and then you can dig up sand dollars during that time and just kind of see what you can find, put them back afterwards. The only other animal that I really love these are sand crabs. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know.
Is that a true crab?
It's probably a false crab. I don't know. Have you ever heard of sand crabs? Are those a thing in the Great Lakes?
I don't think I've ever heard of a sand crab.
I don't know if they must not be freshwater. But okay, so sand crabs I can only express as it's basically like a very tiny lobster-looking creature. Its face it faces forward, but it swims backwards. So it's doing this,
Like an otter,
sort of, I guess.
Okay.
And very harmless to humans, and they're about yay big. Either get this or this, and
tiny.
they're very small, and because they're harmless, they're actually really fun for kids to dig up. And you can find them usually when the tide or the wave washes in, and then it goes out. At least in the saltwater ocean, in the Atlantic, you'll see these little bubbles come up from the sand, and it's usually one of two things. It's either a clam, the small little clams, or it'll be a sand crab. And I remember one time, it's always fun when you're a kid. You see how many you can catch in X amount of times. You can make a competition with your friend or your sibling, or you just kind of see what you can both rustle up within a couple of hours, and then you put them away afterwards. And I think my friend's sister and I one time we caught like 120 within like 15 minutes. It was the most I'd ever. Yeah, it was crazy. I guess they had all.
How do you catch that many? You just like put the jar on
well, usually you
like
get
on the sand and throw like a piece of meat in there or something.
No. So like literally, you dig it up with your hand, and they're in the sand. So you kind of filter it out like a gold panning kind of thing with your hand, and then you just feel it with your hand, and then you just put it in.
No, Alex.
No?
What?
Not a fan?
No.
Why not?
Oh my gosh, that sounds so disturbing to me.
No, it's not. It's not at all. For anyone who's been to the beach and you dug up sand crabs, please express in the comments to Rich that they're harmless, and
I'm sure they are harmless. It's not whether or not they're poisonous or not. It's just creepy crawly things all over my hand.
It's all right. They're fine. They're fine. See, they don't think they're creepy crawly. They're just doing their thing. So anyway, so that's all I got for fun little sea creatures that I come across. The other one that is entertaining to me are sandpipers, and watching their little legs move, especially if there's like a group of them and they all go and they're all moving together.
See, I can get on board with the sandpiper. Yeah. Oh man, I'm still picturing crabs just all over my hand. Ugh. False crabs or not, they're still disgusting. So I looked up some fun facts on, because I don't have a lot of experience with beach animals, but I am fascinated. And the more research I did, the more I realized, this is why I don't like the beach. So I apologize. I did put a negative twist on most of this. So Alex, it's your responsibility to put the positive twist on this if you want to keep up the positive, the positive vibes. I'm so sorry. I'm not making this a very pleasant experience. But barnacles, oh my goodness. I did a lot of reading on barnacles and how they're basically just like these they're basically parasites, right? They can stick themselves to like whales and stuff, but mostly they're known probably for being stuck to the bottom of like the hulls of ships and stuff. And they just sit there for the rest of their life. They just stay in one spot their whole life.
They're quite content.
They just sit there. Yeah, they are.
That's
what, see, look at you. You're putting the positive spin on it.
They're content. Well, and you know what they do, right? Like them and well, I think it's barnacles, mussels for sure. Like mussels and oysters in particular.
Yeah.
And they were doing this in New York. I'm sure the program is still going. Back in pre-industrial age New York City, before the industry started getting big and they started just dumping whatever into the East River and the Hudson. Before that point, say colonial era, age of George Washington, etc., and the oysters around Brooklyn were considered the best oysters, essentially on the planet. Like many people thought that the taste of those oysters actually was some of the best tasting in the world, and people
really,
would come and it was considered a big delicacy, at least in that time. And delicacy being the taste, not the cost, because it was very cheap, and a lot of people had them. So now what they've been doing is they have this kind of long game plan of helping to bring the East River back to pre-industrial time in terms of its cleanliness. And part of it is called what is known as the Billion Oyster Project. So the Billion Oyster Project is a nonprofit movement that's been going on, and to what I remember is that the project actually works with the public schools in the New York City public school system, and these kids help out in the raising of mussel and oyster groups within certain areas of the spots in and around the East River. So their goal is that these particular generations of oysters and mussels will help filter the East River. Oysters can filter apparently 55 gallons of water every day. A single oyster, just a single little oyster, can filter that much water, and essentially it cleans it up. So those
they're like the kidneys of the ocean.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Great illustration. So their plan is, like, the long game plan is not these particular generation, but as the water gets better, as the oysters continue to get more numerous, eventually the goal is to go back to starting to eat New York City oysters again.
So in summary of what you just said, right? The goal is to get more mussels and clams and maybe barnacles or something like that into the East River so that it can filter out all of the nastiness that's in the East River?
Well, these help out, because obviously if people keep dumping stuff, then there's only so much animals can can take.
But then is it then healthy to eat the thing that
Not yet.
Oh,
So this is the thing too that I think actually interesting fact about this is that one of the reasons why the kind of the brilliance of the laws that existed within certain old eating customs, in particular, if you look at like Jewish and Muslim laws, where I think both of them forbade the eating of crustaceans and other like sea-dwelling creatures like that. The reason why, it had nothing to do with anything other than like scientifically, I guess what they discovered later. They didn't know at the time, but they just knew that you could get sick really easily, but they didn't know necessarily why. But now the reason is that they're bottom-dwelling creatures, that they're essentially the filters of the earth. So it's like you're not going to eat your refrigerator water filter. You drink the water, not the filter.
Right.
And the thing is that if you eat oysters, it's fine. It's you're going to be okay. I think the key is if you maintain the health of the water systems themselves, then your food improves. And that's one thing, at least that I know of, that's really important about the seashore, because, for those of you listening, I'm sure you've enjoyed, at some point in your life, you have enjoyed or tried to enjoyed going to the beach. And some of the reason why you're able to enjoy it is because of the health of the ecosystem makes it pleasant to look at, or you can have a great time going to a seafood restaurant and enjoying some scallop or whatever dish.
Right.
And the good thing is that like if the ecosystems are clean, then you have a greater chance to eat an oyster or a mussel without necessarily it being full of
dig your hand into the sand and get a whole bunch of crabs crawling all over you.
Right,
that's
exactly.
what you like.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
You can do that too
If you're into that kind of thing. But yeah, barnacles kind of creep me out. Just because I don't know, they're kind of like permanent leeches. Like they just find a place and just sit there.
Well, just imagine though, if you're Barnacle Bob and you're talking to Barnacle Bernard, and you're like, "Hey Bob, hey, what's up, Bernard? How's it going? Oh, just passing through," and he's on like a gray whale or something. Can you imagine how much cooler Barnacle Bob would be for all these other barnacles? Like he's the adventurous type.
What?
He's like
he's seen the world.
Out of any spot you choose, you don't choose a dock, you don't choose a pier, you choose the head of a gray whale. That would be amazing for a barnacle, I'm sure. Talk about the diet. I mean, the water comes to you. It's great.
Right. Yeah. There's a great video. I also found this in my research, but you can find it on YouTube. Don't click away just yet, please. But you can find it somewhere. It's this great video of this whale that just kind of breaches right next to this boat.
Oh yeah,
and you can see the barnacles on its like neck, and it basically just scrapes all the barnacles off on the boat. And then like the lady that was like moving the camera around, she screams obviously because it's scary. And then she turns around, there's all these broken up barnacles on the boat all around her. It's like, oh no, that's so creepy. Barnacles are also known as crusty fowlers by some people. And if you clean the hull of your boat once a month, you should be able to prevent barnacles from collecting on there. So there you go, all you boat owners. You heard it here first. I know you came here to get all of your boat information from us. Clean the hull of your boat once a month. You heard it here from Table Talk with Rich and Alex, the experts on everything boats. Boats.
All things boats.
We talked a little bit about mussels. So I was looking into mussels, and obviously I hit the gym a lot. And,
Clearly.
No, that's an obvious joke. I'm not gonna make that joke. It's low hanging fruit, and we aspire for more than that on this show, Alex. So we're not gonna make any weightlifting jokes when it comes to talking about the sea life of these creatures.
No. Not at all.
So I guess one of the main predators of a mussel is a snail.
Is it a sea snail?
No, it is a sea snail. It is a sea snail, but specifically it's called a dog whelk.
Oh, I've heard of those. Yeah, okay.
So what a dog whelk is basically a snail that has like a drill bit for a shell. And what it does is it drills through the husk of the mussel, and it just starts sucking the mussel out through the hole. And so that by itself is just really creepy that's even a thing that exists in the world, right? But then on top of that, I guess the main defense, or pretty much the only defense apart from the shell itself that the mussel has, is to like spray out these like sticky spindles to capture the snail and to just capture it and keep it there. And if it catches it, the mussel still dies. It's not like it's a defense mechanism. It's kind of just like I'm
going down. I'm taking you
you're
down
going with me.
You're going with me, man.
I mean, obviously, mussels. I assume mussels kind of collaborate and live in like a lot of them in one place. It's more of like a group thing, group defense, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm just picturing like one mussel by itself. Some sea snail starts drilling into it. And then like it's just like, like I'm gonna take you with me, and then they just both die. It's like, what's the point? I don't know. It's just sad. It's sad. Poor sea snail. Poor mussel. Can you imagine being scared of a snail whenever you see one?
No, please. He's going so fast.
It's like you're a mussel, right? You're just hanging out at the bottom of the ocean. You're just doing whatever you do, right? And like you're having a good time. You and Mike the mussel
Hey, man.
are just kind of like sit next to each other, just having a good time, maybe doing a podcast or something like we're doing. And then all of a sudden a snail kind of starts creeping by and just like everybody goes, shh, 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 be quiet, be quiet.
Yeah,
Knowing what happened? Did you see a shark? No. I saw a snail.
It's all a snail. Well, we're gonna have to be quiet for a long time, man. Do you know how slow they move? Yeah, I know, but we don't move at all. Like we can't move. We don't move.
Yeah, we can manage. We move slower than that thing does. A lot of things to be positive of, or to be happy for being a human.
Yeah. Great thing being on the beach too, man. I mean,
not having to worry about things drilling into my body and sucking me out from within. Right. What is that?
This is a starfish. I forget who gave this to me. I think it was my brother in years past.
The petrified starfish.
Uh-huh. And then this one I found a few years ago. I liked the shape and the design. This was found at Topsail a few years back. I got a few trinkets like that every now and again.
I'm glad you're holding a shell. Bring that back. Bring that back. I want to, because I have a shell too.
Don't be shellfish
out here.
Come on.
Yeah,
Show it off.
So there's my shell. So for those of you listening, both Alex and I are holding up shells for each other and for our viewers. Do you know what shells are? Do you know what these are made of? Do you know how these are formed?
I know they're made from calcium of some kind. What I don't know is how the creature, because of what I know of these shells, I think that as the creature develops, it like is taking sand or something and converting it into calcium of some particular type. That's my theory, but I could be dreadfully wrong.
That's close enough. That's pretty much it. So if you've ever wondered how shells are made and what they're made from, Alex is right. It's mostly calcium. So as mollusks, which are basically snails, and I think mussels are grouped into mollusks as well. I'm not sure. But as mollusks live their daily lives in the sea, they take in salts and chemicals from the water around them. As they process these materials, and I interpret the word process as fecal matter, but I don't know if that's the right interpretation.
Nothing like pooping out your home.
As they process these materials, they secrete calcium carbonate, which hardens on the outside of their bodies and begins to form a hard outer shell.
That's cool.
So, in a sense, shells are snail poop. Right?
Yeah. It's great.
So all of you you go to the beach to collect shells, just know that what you're picking up is just basically secretions of mollusks. Happy hunting.
Wash your hands before you eat.
Wash your hands, please. Yeah. So that's where shells come from.
Lovely. Thanks, Rich.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing I came across in my beach life research. Do you know what the state bird is of Utah? I don't blame you if you don't. If you do, that'd be kind of weird.
I think it's the seagull.
It is a gull, but it's a specific gull.
Is it a gull that lives around Salt Lake City or the Salt Lake? Great Salt Lake?
No, that's what's so funny about it. So this is kind of like a side thing that I was looking at.
Okay.
It's like apparently the state bird of Utah, you're right. I'm so impressed that you knew that it was a gull. It's actually the California gull.
Does it migrate over there?
Apparently. So I just thought it was funny that the state of Utah in 1955 found it appropriate to name the state bird after a different state.
Somebody tells me is that somebody who had control of the legislature at the time must have been a transplant from California, and they were laughing so hard when recommending it. It's kind of one of those things where I feel like there were like, in 1950 whatever in Utah, there must have been a couple guys that decided, okay, we're going to have this be the thing. And I feel like it's such like a low priority political choice usually that it doesn't offend or stir up enough people who are like against the idea. Where like I feel like if enough people pushed against it, it would probably be something that could be easily changed. Usually, I feel like it would like there
Right.
wouldn't be as much resistance as there would be like, hey, we're going to change the state flag, kind of thing.
Right.
So I feel like that's one of those like dorky things that somebody decided to do who was from California originally, and just no one has been like, yeah, sure, but fine with it. We'll just keep it.
So I actually have the story behind it, even though I kind of like that a little bit.
Okay, so what I said was egregiously wrong, which is fine.
I honestly don't know, because the story, I mean, I get the story. It's just like when it comes down to it, yeah, it's kind of probably just came down to this, right? Somebody in that meeting, right, in 1955 basically said, guys, like, we got to figure out the state bird thing. All these other states are doing it. we got to have ours. Like, let's figure this out. Can we at least name something? And yeah, some guy from like California was like, what about the seagull? And we're like, oh, great. Yeah, let's do that. Even though we don't live adjacent to the sea. And then later found out that the actual seagull that they named, it was actually more commonly known as the California gull. But actually, so the before that took place, the California gull is considered the state bird of Utah by common consent, probably in commemoration of the fact that these gulls saved the people of the state by eating up hordes of crickets, which were destroying the crops in 1848.
Whoa!
So Orson F. Whitney says that in the midst of the devastation of the crickets, when it seemed that nothing could stay the devastation, great flocks of gulls appeared, filling the air with their white wings and plaintive cries, and settled down upon the half-ruined fields. All day long they gorged themselves, and when full, disgorged and feasted again the white gulls upon the black crickets, list hosts of heaven and hell contending, until the pests were vanquished and the people were saved. After devouring the crickets, the gulls returned to the lake islands whence they came.
Wow, that got dramatic. Man.
Yeah, kind of an overly dramatic interpretation
Like,
of probably what just turned out to be a bunch of seagulls eating crickets. But
yeah, I mean, a miracle nonetheless. If what the guy wrote was true, where like they all of a sudden just kind of showed up.
Yeah,
I wonder if they whether the seagulls caught whiff of the cricket buffet, just said, "Hey, all right,
yeah,
let's go over. It's time."
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
cool story.
Pixar should make a movie out of that. It should be the same. Oh no, that was grasshoppers. Never mind. I was going to say it should be the same the same group from A Bug's Life.
Bug's Life 2.
Yeah, Bug's Life 2. Attack of the California Gulls. Where does it take place? California? No.
Utah.
In 1848.
1848, Utah, California gull. About the bugs. What is this movie? That's the exact question that we asked ourselves.
Well, that's our episode 3 of Beaches, guys. Thanks for hanging in there with us. And yeah, if you want to be a contestant on the next Name That Beach Dwelling Mystery Creature, or if you want to be the volunteer to be held over a vat of sharks, just let us know. Feel free to comment below. We look forward to hearing from you, and we'll make sure to get you on the next episode of Name That Beach Dwelling Mystery Creature. So, like always, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Definitely subscribe. We wanna know that people are out there listening to us, and helps update you on our activities and what we're doing. And we do post weekly, so tune in. Thanks for watching and listening. Until next time, guys.
Be happy.
Brew hoppy. And
game
on. Cheers. Beach materials come from erosion of rocks offshore, as well as from headland erosion and slumping producing deposits of scree. A coral reef offshore is a significant source of sand particles.
Fascinating.
Isn't it?